importance of the family as an institution. This was not the first instance when Zuma's behavior clashed with his public health policies. In 2005, he was charged with raping the 31-year-old daughter of a prominent ANC family. Zuma maintained that the sex was consensual, defending his actions because the woman wore a kanga, a traditional wraparound skirt. Zuma told the court that this provocative dress indicated her arousal, and Zulu culture dictated that a man could not leave a sexually aroused woman unsatisfied. The woman was also known to be HIV positive, yet Zuma admitted in court proceedings that he did not use a condom. Instead, he said he took a shower afterward to cut his risk of contracting HIV. At the time, he headed up the National AIDS Council. The court dismissed the charges, ruling that the sexual act in question was indeed consensual. But health experts and AIDS activists expurgated his grossly misguided actions, while others mocked what seemed to be willful ignorance. South African political cartoonist Zipiro began to draw Zuma with a shower head sprouting from the crown of his head. All of Zuma's notions of family, personal responsibility, and shower taking riled Anna Swena. Her words began to leap out between bites of lunch and a dizzying verbal hopscotch. Doesn't matter what he says about safe sex. Men see him and they say, if the president can go without a condom, why can't I? Then they won't be safe. It's awful. It's bad for gender equality. Show men in power, or who think they have power. Then she told me about the night the police officer stopped her. She and her elder brother were walking together after dark along NY3. It was not so late, not the middle of the night, but most people had already retreated into their homes, to what little protection these structures offered against the crime that runs rampant in Gugulethu and in every other township. They were just taking a walk. They were just taking a walk to escape from a home overcrowded with their aunt's new boyfriend and his drinking buddies who had stumbled in from the nearby Shadeen, a township tavern. A police car pulled up beside them. Two officers emerged and began tossing out questions to the siblings. What are your names? Where do you stay? Where are you going? Why are you outside after dark? We're just taking a walk, Anna Swena insisted. She did all the talking while her brother kept quiet, cowed perhaps by previous encounters with the police. He dressed like a gangster, just to be fashionable, she said. He didn't really run with the gangs. He had other problems, yes, but he wasn't a soapsy. She was certain of it. But he looked enough like one that the police had stopped him previously for random searches. Now these men wanted to search Anna Swena too. They had no right to search her, she told them. We were just walking. There's no law broken here. One officer pulled her aside, away from where the other stood with her brother. He leaned down close to speak to her, and then she smelled the alcohol on his breath, hot against her cheek. She refused to retreat from what she knew to be her right over her own body. I will not be searched by a male officer. If you want to search me, I'll go to the station to a lady officer. But I won't do it here. I know what happens. Her forthright resistance messedaddled the policeman. He backed down and away from her, returning to his partner, who was searching her brother. They found nothing. Then they told him to go home and stop walking about after dark. As she told this story, she waved a fork above her plate like a conductor leading the symphony through a tricky passage. Then she noticed my own fork that had been poking cautiously around the untouched meat as I listened to her talk. Do you not like it? She asked in surprise. I am not sure what it is. It's spiced mince. Don't you eat that at home? I tried to recall the contents of English mincemeat pies, whether mince is organ meat. Sorry. I took a small bite with a large helping of potato and was carried back across miles and years to family dinners growing up, main course provided by hamburger helper. Yes, I do know this. The seasonings here were not familiar, and they were salty rather than particularly spicy, but the mince was not bad. Are you a picky eater, hey? Her smile was teasing, like that of a younger sister who knows how to goad. Pickier than I should be at 40. What? You're 40? I laughed at her undisguised astonishment, her gaping mouth and wide eyes. She spoke as freely with her eyes as she did with her words. 41, actually. Why does that shock you? You don't seem 40. At 18, Anna Suena occupied that murky borderland in life, not fully a woman, yet no longer a girl child. As she held forth with her stories over lunch, I tried to picture her as a child. Some things about her made that easy to do. Her small stature, an alertness for any person or situation she found funny, with a ready laugh that alternated between a high giggle and a snicker that lodged in the back of her throat. I could imagine her having a curious nature, being a girl who asked questions. Too many questions, I'm sure she was told. But she also showed glimpses of a hard-bitten veneer that seemed disproportionate to her age. Her body was petite, but even with that brutal cough, nothing about her was fragile. Given that she had been orphaned at the age of 10, it was not surprising that she would have learned to protect herself. I did not yet know all the ways she had to try in her 18 years to keep herself safe, to guard body and soul, and from whom. Were you afraid, I asked, that night with your brother and the police? Her eyes grew large again, as if considering for the first time her own boldness. She laughed nervously. Yeah, I was a bit. Then her expression darkened. But I was angry more than I was afraid. I can't just do things like that, even if they are the police. Looking across the table at this girl, now finishing off the last bites of her mince and pop, I wondered when and how she learned to plant herself in the soft ground between preservation and outrage. So that's Anna Suena. Coming into this group, which is exactly what she proved to be. She's probably kind of one of the two girls I got to know best, and I got to know these girls really well through the writing club and outside of that. So I came to find out kind of soon after this, actually at the end, I don't go on, but I drove her home, and she told me her mom was a singer. She said, you need to look her up. And I was thinking she was just a, local Cape Town singer. It turned out her mother was Annalene Malebo, who was a very famous singer in South Africa during apartheid. She actually was kind of the Diana Ross. She led this group called Joy, and they were the first black South African group to have a top 10 hit. Actually, it was the #1 hit on the South African pop charts in 1980. So she was a big deal, big pop star. She also then, in 2002, became the first South African celebrity to announce publicly that she had AIDS. And this was at a time when the medications were too expensive, prohibitively expensive, and she hadn't had work in a long time then, and she couldn't afford them. And so she passed away when Anna Suena was 10. And the book kind of traces her mother's story through kind of her rise to stardom and then what happened after that, and the effect on Anna Suena's life, what she saw happen to her mother, how her mother developed HIV, and the parallels between what's happened to Anna Suena, kind of being moved around from family to family, and the kind of hardcore that it's developed within her. It all sounds really dire, but she's also a great teacher, as you see. And all of these girls, it was one of the things that was so striking to me is despite, I don't know if you've seen, there's a hashtag going around now, the Africa the media never shows you. Because, we tend to see the famine and the poverty and the Civil War and AIDS, and all of that is there and present, but there's laughter and joy and really good food if you give it a chance. And these amazing young women with really powerful stories to tell. And I think over the course of the year, we really did coalesce into a safe place for them to come and know that they wouldn't be judged, they would be listened to, they would be respected and heard, and anything goes. Another one of the girls, Tombi, her name's Tombi Zinele, which the name literally means no more girls. And it's given to the second daughter of the family. Tombi, she goes by Tombi. She literally found her voice. She had this very raspy voice, she still does, that she hated. And she was one of the holdouts for reading aloud. She didn't want to read aloud for a long, long time. But she had a lot to say. She was always writing until past the time I called time. And just seeing her blossom over the course and struggle through a really serious bout of depression after her mom had died. These are great stories, and these are these young women that I really have grown to love, and I really hope you all enjoy getting to know about them as well. Thank you.